I'm not fighting you.
Like, he's so averse to bullshit. He's like, oh, no.
After canceling his fight with Jake Paul, Mike Tyson has experienced a strong response from Joe Rogan. Rogan has described Tyson as a coward, slamming him for creating expectations just to back out of the fight. Tyson, at his age, can no longer compete effectively but continues to maintain the illusion that he can. In a last blow, Rogan strongly condemns Tyson, saying that he should completely distance himself from boxing altogether. Rogan also shared his anger with Tyson's recent choices, pointing out that instead of dedicating himself to training, Tyson spent much of his free time smoking weed with his friend Ric Flair, the retired WWE icon. Rogan felt that this was a clear indication of Tyson's lack of seriousness about the sport, especially since the fans had been eagerly anticipating Tyson's reputation as a fierce opponent, had everyone anticipating for an exciting encounter, but those aspirations were dashed when the fight was postponed. The reason for the cancellation, according to Rogan, is even more depressing. Tyson prioritized using pot over his loyalty to the sport and his fans.
What do you want to be in the picture?
You gotta go bow.
Did they have ballet?
So Mike Tyson has officially canceled the match, leaving many fans disappointed, especially since the fight had already been rescheduled once the initial delay occurred when Tyson experienced a medical scare while on vacation. Doctors advised him against fighting Jake Paul, which was originally scheduled for that week. This led Tyson's team to push the fight date to November 15th, giving fans hope that the much-awaited showdown would still happen. But why can't Tyson fight? Tyson's age plays a significant role in this decision. As a fighter in his late 50s, the physical demands of training and fighting at a high level may simply be too much for him to handle. However, other sources say that there's more to the story. It appears that Tyson's decision to step away from the fight isn't just about his age or physical limitations. Instead, it appears he's losing interest in boxing altogether and is now focused on a new venture, launching his own cannabis company.
It's my dream, but he took it to another level.
Tyson had always dreamed of developing the new business. After experiencing what he describes as a miracle cure through cannabis, he became a passionate advocate for its benefits. For Tyson, the chance to enter the cannabis industry represents not just a business move, but a personal mission to share the healing power he believes in so strongly. He sees this as a way to make a lasting impact far beyond what he could achieve in the boxing ring. Tyson also knows that his age makes continuing in boxing increasingly.
It is different from dispensaries, but it's like a dispensary. It's a ranch of marijuana.
Right.
It's the mother of dispensaries.
The battle between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has been officially canceled, and many are asking how Jake Paul feels about it after getting the bad news. He acknowledged that Tyson's age is a significant factor, making it difficult for the former champion to keep up with the demands of a high match. But what appears to bother Paul the most is the stark contrast between Tyson's aggressive behavior during their press conference and his eventual withdrawal. I already expected Tyson to cancel the match. His age just can't keep up with the demands of a real fight anymore. But what really gets me is how aggressive he was during the press conference. The guy was acting like he wanted to eat me up, going all out with that intensity. During the press conference, Tyson came across as fiercely determined, even going so far as to threaten to eat Paul in the ring. But now that the fight has been canceled, Paul sees that fiery attitude as little more than an act. What initially seemed like real intensity now feels to Paul like a performance meant to hype the fight, rather than a true reflection of Tyson's intentions. During the interview, Jake Paul couldn't help but smirk as he thought on Tyson's antics, saying they were rather funny. Paul's comments suggest that he is beginning to see past the renowned fighter's tough facade. What formerly appeared as raw anger now appears more like a veneer to Paul, prompting to reconsider his image of Tyson. Paul went on to say that Tyson is not the man he originally thought him to be. While Tyson may build an image of hardness, Paul now thinks that the former champion is more of a scared cat than a fearless warrior. It's kind of funny that he was so fired up then, but couldn't follow through. Makes you wonder if he was just trying to psych himself up, because deep down he knew he couldn't hang with me in the ring before the fight was canceled. Jake Paul gave the media an insight into his arduous preparation for the contest against Mike Tyson, proudly displayed his gym space and walked reporters through the tough training regimen he had created especially for this high-profile match. Paul spoke boldly about the attention and work he was putting into every practice, ready to prove himself against Tyson's endless hours spent preparing. Plans established and physical conditioning will no longer be tested in the ring, as the fight has been officially called off.
I'm big on warming up. 10 minutes walking on the treadmill, dynamic stretches, dynamic movements, getting my knees ready, my hips ready, opening everything up. I do cartwheels and handstands.
The cancellation of the fight came as no surprise to some in the boxing community. Among those who anticipated this result was Shawn Porter, a two-time welterweight world champion. Porter had his doubts from the beginning, wondering whether the YouTuber and the boxing legend would ever actually step into the ring together. Porter's suspicions looked well-founded, especially given the significant purse. Jake Paul was set to make up to $40 million from the 8-round contest. Even with such a substantial payday on the line, Porter stayed unconvinced that the fight would happen. Viewing the entire situation with a degree of caution, the cancellation only confirmed what Porter and others in the boxing world had thought all along: the much-hyped showdown was unlikely to become a reality. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We're not going to ever see Mike Tyson get in the ring with Jake Paul. The first don't call the shots. I just don't think Mike's getting in the ring. Porter stated on his show for Sean Porter that the idea of this match never made much sense from a business standpoint. The ethics surrounding the bout seemed questionable, making Porter skeptical from the start. He felt that the motives behind the fight were more about hype and money than real competition, which only deepened his doubts about its feasibility. I just don't see it happening. It didn't make sense to me. Even from a business standpoint, I feel like Mike and Jake, even to the lowest common denominator, it didn't make sense. So this is why individuals like Joe Rogan are voicing their criticisms of Mike Tyson. But do you think the cancellation is real, or could it be a gimmick to generate more interest for the fight? Share your ideas in the comments area below.